The worlds of Pokemon and One Piece, while vastly different in their core narratives and mechanics, share a fundamental appeal rooted in their intricate power systems. Pokemon's elemental types offer a simple framework for understanding strengths and weaknesses, which creates a dynamic battle ecosystem. One Piece, on the other hand, boasts an array of unique combat styles, devil fruit abilities, and hockey applications that define its character's strength. Now, imagine if Pokemon's typing system were to be applied to the One Piece world with its own equally diverse cast. What Pokemon types would One Piece characters have? Well, in this video, we will answer that exact question. Before the video starts, I want to quickly mention that if you like any of the content that I post on this channel, consider clicking the subscribe button. It's completely free and you get more One Piece videos. Anyway, let's first start with the Straw Hat Pirates, who represent a spectrum of fighting styles and personalities. Monkey D. Luffy already presents a unique challenge, as his primary ability stems from the Gomu Gomu no Mi, which doesn't really translate well to any Pokemon type. Initially, Luffy's Devil Fruit might suggest a normal type due to its seemingly mundane physical properties, but given Luffy's combat-centric use of his powers, fighting is a more fitting primary type. Luffy's fighting style is direct, powerful, and driven by pure determination and willpower, which fully embodies the spirit of a fighting-type Pokemon. With the awakening of the Hito Hito no Mi model Nika, Luffy gains a whimsical, almost mythical quality. His ability to freely manipulate his surroundings and his own body in such extraordinary, reality-bending ways, coupled with the god aspect of his fruit, aligns perfectly with the unpredictable and powerful nature of dragon types. Dragon-type Pokemon are often legendary and possess immense, often unclassifiable power. Fighting Dragon would undoubtedly fit perfectly with One Piece's main protagonist. Next up is Zoro, who is a paragon of strength, discipline, and unwavering ambition. His use of three swords, often imbued with immense cutting power and hockey, strongly points towards a steel typing. Steel-type Pokemon are known for their defensive capabilities, raw power, and sharp attacks, which are all qualities that Zoro possesses. His stoicism, immense durability, and the literal steel of his blades reinforce this typing. For Zoro's secondary type, fighting is an obvious choice, mirroring his dedication to mastering combat and his sheer physical power. However, his relentless and often brutal approach to combat, his intimidating presence, and his title as the King of Hell points at something darker. Zoro is a formidable fighter who often resorts to sheer force and intimidation to overpower his foes, as seen with his fight against Monet. This blend of formidable physical strength and a somewhat intimidating demeanor could also justify a dark typing, especially given his shadowed expressions and his willingness to go to extreme lengths in battle. Steel Fighting and Steel Dark would both equally fit Zoro's incredible will as a fighter, as well as his intimidating aura. Nami, the Navigator, primarily relies on her knowledge on meteorology and her climate tech to manipulate weather, which is a clear indication of an electric typing, given her ability to conjure lightning bolts, create thunderclouds, and discharge powerful electrical attacks. Her intellect and strategic mind in battle often revolve around creating opportune weather conditions, making her a formidable electric-type fighter. Her secondary type could be flying, not because she can fly, but because her abilities often involve controlling atmospheric phenomena, which are inherently related to the sky and air. Furthermore, her agility and ability to navigate rough seas, relying on wind and currents, could metaphorically align with the evasiveness and mobility of flying-type Pokemon. Alternatively, a normal type could represent her fundamental humanity and reliance on ingenuity rather than inherent superhuman strength. Usopp the Sniper primarily uses projectiles and cutting tactics to fight. His pot greens, which sprout various plants and traps, make grass type an undeniable primary choice. He is deeply connected with nature through his weaponry, using flora to both attack and defend. His evolution as a sniper also involves keen observation and understanding of his environment, further aligning with the adaptable nature of grass types. For his secondary type, normal is certainly suitable, reflecting his relative lack of superhuman abilities compared to the others, much like Nami, and his resourcefulness in using everyday items in extraordinary ways. Sanji, the chef and martial artist, is known for his powerful kicks and his fiery passion. His signature Diable Jambe ignites his leg with intense heat, which makes fire type an absolute certainty. This ability enhances his destructive power and leaves opponents reeling from scorching blows. Sanji's explosive temper and unwavering dedication to his comrades, and especially to women, further resonate with the aggressive and protective nature of many fire-type Pokemon. His Black-leg fighting style is entirely kick-based, focusing on rapid, devastating physical strikes. This martial artistry, combined with his immense physical strength and agility, perfectly aligns him with the fighting type. Sanji embodies the speed, precision, and power typical of fighting-type Pokemon, capable of delivering rapid-fire attacks and overwhelming opponents with sheer force. I can also see Sanji only being able to learn kick-based fighting-type moves such as low sweep and high jump kick, due to his refusal of using his hands during battle. Firefighting is a classic and fitting combination for the Straw Hat's Passionate Cook, which are both ironically enough super effective against Zoro's types. Tony Chopper, the Doctor, is a reindeer who ate the Hito no Mi, and his base form and ability to transform into various points for different purposes suggest a normal type, representing his adaptability and the foundational nature of his transformations. His pre-Devil Fruit existence as an animal could also be linked to the normal type, as furry and animal-like Pokemon also usually fall into the normal category, such as Lillipup and Purugly. Given Chopper's extensive knowledge of medicine and his gentle, innocent, and inherently kind nature, coupled with his role as a doctor who heals and protects, a secondary fairy type could be considered. However, his monster, arm, and kung fu points are purely combat-oriented, focusing on raw physical power and brawling. This aspect, combined with his protective nature as the crew's doctor, strongly leans towards a fighting type. Chopper's various forms are essentially different fighting styles, each designed for specific combat situations. Both normal fairy or normal fighting perfectly fit Chopper's benevolent nature and his various Devil Fruit transformations. Nico Robin, the archaeologist, possesses the Hana no Mi, allowing her to sprout body parts anywhere. This unique ability to manifest limbs, create clones, and perform intricate maneuvers from a distance has a subtle, almost supernatural quality that aligns well with the Psychic type. Psychic types often manipulate their environment or opponents without direct physical contact, which mirrors Robin's long-range, manipulative fighting style. Her keen intellect, her ability to read poneglyphs, and her often mysterious demeanor further support a Psychic typing. Her past as a survivor of the Ohara incident, living in the shadows and being involved with the criminal underworld, along with her often pragmatic and sometimes ruthless decisions in combat, suggests a secondary dark typing. Robin's Demon Child nickname and her ability to incapacitate opponents through painful, bone-breaking techniques, sometimes with a chilling smile, also fit the darker, more unsettling aspects of the dark type. Psychic Dark would represent her intelligent, manipulative, and often somber, yet powerful presence. Franky, the cyborg shipwright, is a walking arsenal of weapons and a master of mechanical engineering. His body, composed of reinforced steel and housing numerous gadgets, makes steel type an obvious and primary choice, as he is literally made of steel, and he also relies on heavy-duty mechanical attacks. Franky's various laser beams and his reliance on cola as fuel suggests an electric typing. Many of his attacks involve energy projection, and the very nature of a cyborg implies complex electrical systems. The combination of steel-electric would perfectly encapsulate his heavily armored, weapon-heavy form and his energy-based attacks. Brook, the musician and swordsman, is a living skeleton who ate the Yomi no Mi, granting him a second life. His very existence as a reanimated skeleton immediately classifies him as a ghost type. Ghost types are often associated with the undead, spectral abilities, and an otherworldly presence, all of which apply to Brook. His ability to leave his body as a soul further solidifies this typing. His secondary type comes from his ability to channel the chill of the underworld through his soul, leading to attacks that freeze his opponents, such as Soul Solid. This freezing ability, combined with his lightweight and agile swordplay, makes Ice type a fitting secondary. He literally brings the coldness of death with him, making Ghost Ice a chillingly perfect combination. Jinbei, the helmsman, is a master of fishman karate and a formidable fighter in aquatic environments. His innate connection to the ocean and his incredible prowess in water make water type his undeniable primary type. He can manipulate water, breathe underwater, and unleash powerful water-based attacks. His fishman karate is a highly effective martial art focused on physical strikes and manipulating shockwaves. This rigorous combat discipline firmly places him as a fighting type. Jinbei is a direct, powerful combatant who relies on his martial skill and physical strength. Water fighting perfectly describes his aquatic mastery and his formidable hand-to-hand combat abilities. Expanding beyond the Straw Hats, the world of One Piece is populated by an incredible array of powerful individuals, each with unique abilities that lend themselves well to Pokemon typings. Portgas D. Ace, the sworn brother of Luffy and Sabo, possessed the Mera Mera no Mi, making him a Logia-type Devil Fruit user who could create, control, and transform into fire. His entire being revolved around flames, with all of his signature moves like Fire Fist involving fire. There is no other type as fitting for Ace as a pure fire type. His hot-headed personality and his burning loyalty further emphasize this sole typing. Ace and Luffy's brother Sabo, who is also the Revolutionary Army's chief of staff, inherited Ace's Mera Mera no Mi, granting him control over fire. This immediately makes him a fire type, sharing this powerful elemental connection with his late brother. As a master of the Dragon Claw martial arts and a formidable combatant even before acquiring the Devil Fruit, Sabo is an incredibly skilled physical fighter. His direct, powerful strikes and his dedication to fighting for justice align him with the fighting type. Like Sanji, a fire-fighting combination perfectly describes his burning resolve and his formidable martial arts prowess. Trafalgar D. Waterlaw, the Surgeon of Death, possesses the Ope Ope no Mi, allowing him to create rooms where he can manipulate anything within, including swapping positions, dissecting bodies without harm, and performing intricate surgical attacks. This ability to spatially manipulate and rearrange elements, coupled with his high intellect and tactical mind, strongly suggests a psychic type. His surgical precision and mental fortitude align with the psychic type's focus on mind over matter. His epithet Surgeon of Death and his background as a former member of the Don Quixote Pirates, as well as his ruthless pragmatism and willingness to use his powers in grim ways, suggest a dark type. His often cynical demeanor and his association with the darker side of the Grand Line's underworld further cement this. Psychic Dark would represent his brilliant strategic mind, his precise yet terrifying abilities, and his morally ambiguous nature. Boa Hancock, the Pirate Empress, possesses the Mera Mera no Mi, allowing her to turn those infatuated with her into stone. Boa's unparalleled beauty and charm, coupled with the magical, love-based nature of her Devil Fruit, align perfectly with the Fairy type. Fairy types are often associated with charm, beauty, and mystical powers, and can be deceptively powerful. Her ability to turn people to stone, which can be seen as a form of petrification or crystallization, combined with the poisonous allure she exudes, could also hint at a poison type. This isn't a literal toxic poison, but rather the poison of overwhelming attraction that incapacitates her foes. Alternatively, if one considers her as a Medusa-like figure, the petrification could also suggest a rock type, but fairy poison better captures the charm and the debilitating effect. Don Quixote do Flamingo, the Heavenly Demon, wields the Ito Ito no Mi, allowing him to create and manipulate strings. His manipulative, cruel, and cunning personality, combined with his dark influence over Dressrosa and the underworld, makes Dark type a great fit. He operates from the shadows, controlling others like puppets, a classic Dark type trait. His strings also allow him to fly by attaching them to clouds, and he uses them for swift, aerial maneuvers. This aerial mobility, along with his ability to create the birdcage, suggests a flying type. Dark flying would perfectly represent his sinister, manipulative nature, and his extraordinary mobility and destructive reach. And the last character that I want to mention is Bartholomew Kuma, the Pacifista template and former warlord, who possesses the Nikyu Nikyu no Mi, allowing him to repel anything he touches with his hands. His cyborg body, heavily armored and equipped with powerful lasers, makes steel a primary type. His Devil Fruit ability, while unique, doesn't inherently fit an elemental type, as it is a physical repulsion force. As he was once a human, and his ability is based on a physical property rather than an elemental one, normal type can represent his original, non-elemental abilities and his status as a modified human. Steel normal would represent his mechanical enhancements and his unique, non-elemental repulsion powers. Alright, I think that about sums up all the people that I wanted to mention in this video. One Piece's powers, whilst certainly very diverse, surprisingly has a lot of similarities to Pokemon types, though some certainly don't fall into certain types as easily as others. Anyway, if you enjoyed this video, make sure to click the subscribe and like button, it'll be greatly appreciated, and comment down below what you think, what other characters in One Piece would have certain Pokemon types. Let me know in the comments. Anyway, I'll see you in the next video.